junctional area of your shoulder here. Bleeding, it's hit an artery, the bleeding really bad. You can't get a tourniquet on it. Pressure might work, but what you need to do is take these and put them on the tip of your finger. Pack. Yep, tampons will do the same thing. Interesting thing about tampons, and I keep them in here too.
I figured you did, Michael.
Well, you never can tell when that time hits. Be prepared. I was reading an article the other day where this was in Nashville. A guy in Nashville got shot at approximately 6 feet with a 9mm hollow point. A lady found him on the street. Well, I say on the street, I mean, she was nearby. She had tampons in her purse, and she got 7 of them stuck in that wound before it would quit bleeding. Can you imagine having that much foreign objects shoved into a bullet hole? But sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, it's not as simple as stick the tampon in, let it go. It might. If it was 22, it might. These hollow points, they go in, that cavity gets really big.
And they're not meant to come out the other side.
It gets nasty inside. But yeah, last resort on the bleeding is pack the crap out of it until it quits bleeding and tape it up. The one thing I don't have in here that I tell everybody to always put in their kits, duct tape. It works, it works. It's gonna hurt like crap getting it off. But hey, it works, it works.
How about you see a lot of these, I don't know what to call it, but it's just like a powder stuff.
Yeah, hemostatic powder.
Yeah. What's the feelings on those things?
I'll tell you straight up, we was talking about that just a minute ago before we got started. That was the last thing I was going to touch on blood loss. There's 2 or 3 different types out there on the market. One is the hemostatic powder, blood stock powder, whatever you want to call it. Another is granules, and then you've got gauze or sponges that are impregnated with the stuff. My personal opinion, they all work, they all do the same thing. The powder is a last resort. Here's why. It's going to stop the bleeding, but that person's going to have such massive infections quickly if they don't get all that cut out. When they get to that stuff's designed, or if you fall on a trail, on the Appalachian Trail, and get back out to safety, now you've gone to the hospital and they are sitting there debriding that wound, and they're taking their little scalpels and cutting 75% of that crap out and opening that wound back up and sewing you up. It's got to come out, period. You will die. You will die of blood poisoning. The granules are a little better. They don't spread quite as bad. The gauze or sponges are the shit. They work great. Good enough that United States Marines issues them to pack wounds with. And they're issuing little sponges. Look like little makeup removal sponges. And they're impregnated with that powder stuff, 3 or 4, put a piece of tape over them and get them out. Now, will the stuff work? Yeah, it works really, really well. Like I said, it's primarily designed though for non-shit hits the fan.
Being able to go to a hospital,
being able to at least get to somebody with light surgical capability. That's going to require cutting on.
So shit hits the fan, use that. You're a world of hurt.
Yeah, now, you can be with the tourniquet too, like we discussed. The problem with the powder, those shit hits the fan, is if, there you go. Yep, there's some of the powder right there.
We used to have that stuff at the grooming place whenever, like, you cut the nails of a dog too short, we would put that on there But when we would run out, we would just use cornstarch.
Yeah.
Works the same way.
Exactly. This is what you want.
Cornstarch
That's what y'all want.
flour.
There's a couple
Yeah.
different brands. That's one of the good ones right there. Another one is called Combat Gauze. It's the exact same thing. No
I
difference.
got that off Amazon.
Yep.
So it's,
They're not super cheap for that little package. What, about 15 bucks?
I think it was 13, something
Okay.
like that. $12, $13.
Yep. But that is that is excellent right there. There's still going to be a little debriding to the wound,
Oh yeah, this is.
but it's not. There's going to be chemical burns. Is what it's going to be on the inside of the wound. Not bad. I mean, me and my limited skills, as long as I can keep somebody else there with me to keep the patient from hitting me, I can fix that. A sterilized hobby knife and a pair of tweezers. I'd rather clean that than I had trying to clean somebody up from a 3rd degree burn. That's not going to be bad there. Like I said, it will do a little bit of cauterizing to some of the tissue, but not bad. Maybe
Let's stay more.
maybe a
surface.
64th of an inch. It's not going to spread. Something else that there's been cases of with the powder is blindness. That stuff, if a gust of wind blows when you pour that in and it blows in your face,
Oh,
that stuff reacts to oxygen and liquid. And when it hits your eyes, they're done. They may be done permanently. There's been cases of symptoms of things like black lung disease, only very tiny spots where it gets in your lungs, but it won't go away. That's the problem, is then you get sick somewhere down the road and other crud gets built up around this, and even been suspicion if it could cause the basis of getting a tumor of some type. So if you do use the powder, make sure, do this, look away. If you're big into hunting, make sure you're upwind of the powder, not downwind, because it can do some serious damage. Again, though, it can save a life. If I had my preferences, though, those clotting sponges or the clotting gauze, that's the way to go if you want a fast coagulant like that. It's really good. And the cool thing with them is, it's perfect for oozing blood, and it's adequate enough that light arterial bleeding, like we was talking about, just a pierce or a slight puncture in an artery, that combined with pressure, you might get them stabilized. Good chance of it. Did you say that you sent a combat gauze? Or the
Yeah, where do you get
Amazon?
Amazon? That's where I buy all my stuff.
Me too.
I'll buy, if I could buy bologna there, that's
Yeah.
what I call it. Just have it shipped
Don't
to
say bologna. I ain't ate a fried bologna sandwich in a while. Now I want
me.
one. As far as the IFAK goes, I keep that stuff I just showed you, some tape, a couple different types of gauze, maybe a roll of gauze. There's some stuff called compressed gauze. This is a really old one here. It's hard as a rock, but it's been shrink packed. When that opens up, it fluffs out, and it's real. I don't know how to describe it other than it's like a sponge almost. It's opens up and it's porous and it's real fibrous on the inside, and it works really well for packing if you have to pack a wound. Now, before we move beyond this, and we'll come back and practice some of the stuff in a minute, anybody got any questions on bleeding? I'm definitely not getting into any of this heavily because it can take so much time, but I'll be glad to answer any questions if y'all got them.
If it's in the neck, if you got a bullet wound or something in the neck, you have to use the gauze, right?
If you got a bullet wound in the neck, you better use your powers with the man upstairs.
But she's right. The,
Yeah,
the,
pack.
the wound gauze would be the only
Yep.
only hope.
That's
Probably.
your only hope. You cannot, there's been a lot of tests done, if it's actually on the neck, even the compression bandage, to get it tight enough to stop the bleeding, you've constricted the air pipe now. So you stopped the M, and now A is restricted, as in March, massive hemorrhaging in your airway. So the only way people have even been able to get, like a carotid, the only way people have even been able to get a carotid artery to stop bleeding, using an Izzy or bandaging a tape, is shut the airway down. Now, if you've got time to just stand there, put pressure on it. if you're in a position where that can be done, every time they so much as take a deep breath, it's going to reposition that artery because it's wiggling around in there like a garden hose. And that is the third largest and the highest flowing artery in the body. First is the pulmonary artery, second is your femoral. Now there's a lot of blood flow. Between 2.5 and 3 minutes tops.
Okay, so tourniquet and the compression bandage more for limbs
Yes.
in general.
The compression bandage can be used pretty much anywhere except for the throat.
Yeah. You
and
didn't use that. You could use that on the head too.
You can, yep. You can make a head bandage out of it. These come in 3 sizes. They got a new one out now. It's called an abdomen. But they make a 4, a 6, and the new abdomen, which is a little, the fiber's a little thicker in it.
Yeah.
The pad's a little thicker, but it's designed for gut shot wounds. That's what they actually made it for, which is incredible. I'd like to actually see one and play with it some. I don't know how long they've been around. They've only been on the American surplus market a couple of years now. But they're an 8-inch, and they're almost an inch thick.
So for
Which
my
one?
pack for blood loss, tourniquet, compression bandage, and tampons.
Yeah, compression bandage, tampons, stuff that you can find at dollar store, 4x4s, just various types of gauze. 4x4s, maybe a roll of, I think I've got some pretty cheap stuff I get off Amazon over here. Which pouch it's in. Oh, that's 4x4s.
Since you gotta hold that, do you guys just want to move to the porch because we do have lights there, so you don't have to hold it?
I got fire over here.
This is what they use for those ambulances. That's rolled.
Want to sit right here, hon? So
Oh
you
no,
can sit
I'm good.
That's how
I'm gonna get
fluffy
like
it
the
is.
So I've
coffee
got
can
one
though.
of those.
Okay.
They're
Think we need some refills?
standard rolled